Hey, I got a question for you. Can a budget pistol sub $200 be a good option for a fun range toy and maybe even self-defense? Well, today we're going to find that out. We are going to do a review on the Kel-Tec P17, so stay tuned. Hey heathens, it's Gandini. So, like I said in the intro, we are doing a review on the Kel-Tec P17. This is a cool little option from Kel-Tec. It's a very budget-friendly option from Kel-Tec. I think MSRP on these guys is right around 200 bucks, so you can usually find them almost everywhere around that $200 price range. This is a very crude design, just like most Kel-Tecs. This is a very plasticky gun with screws showing pretty much everywhere and very angular. This gun is definitely designed by someone that's doing a little bit too much of the nose candy.
Say hello to my little friend!
Of course, but this is a cool little option for you if you are on a severe budget, because these guys, like I said, are right around that $200 price range. This guy runs a 3.8-inch barrel that has the ability to throw on a thread adapter, so you can run a suppressor or a compensator, whatever you want to do on that. We have blacked out rear sights with a fiber optic front post sight. That's a very nice sight system for this price range and for taking out to the range. Very large grip, because of how wide it is here, me with my extra large hands can get a good grip on this. You would think that being such a thin gun, it would actually be very uncomfortable to hold, but it actually is pretty comfortable even with that angular design. Now, I will say if you have a little bit bigger hands, that little nub on the bottom there might be getting in the way, so that way you can't get a good purchase on this gun. All right, so the sun's come out behind the clouds, so we moved you at a little better angle so you can see this gun a little bit better. Very nice setup here. It's got a manual safety that is ambidextrous. It's also got paddle releases for your mag release, and it's ambidextrous as well. The only thing that's not ambidextrous on this guy is the slide release, which is just a tiny little folded piece of metal that just works just enough to hold that slide open, and then you knock it down. Just like Kel-Tec, one of the things they do to save money is they go with basic designs. They don't do any bells and whistles. It is a gun. That's what it is. But this is a really neat pistol. It is a hammer fire gun. It does have an internal hammer on the inside here. Let's go ahead and show you there. You do have a cocked indicator here, that little red strip right there. Let's go ahead and show you the trigger here. We have a nice, it's a very curved trigger. It's not flat face in any way, but there's a little bit of staging to get to a wall. And then there's no confirmed wall. It's just, it kind of rolls through. There's no wall to hold on to, but it's not heavy in any sense of the word. It just rolls. Brake, let's see that reset. Not tactile, but very audible. And then a brake. It's a very mild trigger on this guy. It works for the budget price range it is. It's a very nice little pistol. But we're going to test fire it today. We're going to put some rounds through it. We're going to go from some nicer ammunition all the way down to some run-of-the-mill Winchester White Box ammunition. So we're going to run it through and make sure that this guy is reliable enough to spend your $200 on. I don't want you guys to spend your money and then get mad at me going, Gandini, you told me it was a great gun.
Mob supplies! Get your angry mob supplies here!
But we're going to go ahead and put some rounds on it and make sure everything's operational for you. All right, so we got these loaded up. Now, one thing I did not state in the intro was these come with 3 16-round magazines. So this is a high-capacity 22 long rifle. For YouTube, these are standard magazines, okay? But these are a 16-round magazine, so you're not going to run out of ammunition anytime soon, which is very nice. First mag we have loaded is CCI 22 long rifle mini mags. These are probably one of the best ammunitions that you can run in a semi-auto pistol. It's got the faster feet per second, so it cycles pretty much everything 22 long rifle. Whenever anyone has an issue with a semi-auto 22, I always tell them to grab some CCI mini mags and verify that that issue is an actual issue and not an ammunition problem, because 22 long rifle varies dramatically on feet per second, and a lot of guns won't feed that slower stuff. But let's go ahead and try it with the CCI mini mags and see how she runs this way. I'm not sure if you can see the target on the camera here. I'm gonna try to keep it in frame as best as I can. And we're gonna put some rounds on target and see how she does. Fed all those rounds just fine. I didn't think it would have any problem with that anyways, but it was, that's definitely the round to kind of set the standard for the pistol. Let's go ahead and move on to something a little bit dirtier and see if she runs that. This one is Aguila 38 grain. This is their super extra hollow point. So it is a little bit faster on the FPS than their standard. This one is a little bit faster than the CCI Mini Mag. These are at 1280 feet per second. So it's a little bit faster than the standard Aguila, but you can buy this in a big bulk box, and they're usually right around that $35 to $40 mark range. So you can get 500 rounds for dirt cheap of this guy. And these are made in Mexico, so however you feel about that. But let's go ahead and put some rounds on target. See what she does. These should feed just fine, but they are hollow points, so if there is any issue, that's where it's going to be, is probably with the hollow point. But let's go ahead and put these rounds on target. All right, and of course she fed them just fine, no problem with that. So last magazine we have loaded today is a round that I have the most issues with. I don't like shooting it in 9mm. I don't like shooting it in 22. I just don't like it, but you can find it almost everywhere. Every shop that has ammunition has Winchester White Box. I personally have had too many issues with Winchester White Box, so I don't ever recommend it, but you can get it for dirt cheap. So we're gonna see if the Kel-Tec P17 will run the Winchester White Box ammunition. These are the Winchester 555 bullets. These are the big bulk box that you can get 555 rounds for like 30 bucks, something like that. These run at about 1280 as well, so they're a little bit faster than the CCI Mini Mags. Like I said, they shouldn't have a problem with that, but the issue I have is the ammunition. I've had so many problems with Winchester White Box. So let's go ahead and put some rounds on target, see if that continues today or not. All right, so she ran flawlessly, no problems there. Now, this gun is a fully open ejection port there, so yeah, there's no issues with if it didn't come out of the ejection port. Say it got jammed, you could easily take like a stick or something and jam it in there and get the round out. So I do like that it's a fully open design like that, very similar to like a Beretta or something like that, but you see that metal part goes all the way across the top. This gun is mostly polymer. The only steel parts are like the barrel, this little part of the slide right here. This part, it comes across like this and bends down. And some of the slight internals. Other than that, it is mostly polymer. So this gun weighs nearly nothing. Like it feels like a toy. That's the other negative to it. It does not feel like a gun, it feels like a toy. That is the biggest complaint I hear about it at the shop I work at. People are always saying, it's too toyish. I don't want that because it's too toyish.
I am not a toy.
That, I could see that. If you want something that feels more like a real gun, maybe not the Kel-Tec P17. But if you want something budget friendly that you take to the range, This thing is showing out to be pretty nice. But let's go ahead and put some more rounds on this guy. I want to show you what the recoil impulse feels like. All right, so we got this guy loaded back up with the Aguila Super Extra hollow point. These are 38 grain, like I said. They are around 1280 feet per second. So they're a little bit hotter than your standard 22. So the most recoil you're gonna feel is out of this guy. So let's go ahead and put a round out there, see what you guys think. As you can see, almost no recoil on this guy. They are that's what makes 22 very fun at the range. People who are recoil sensitive can have a lot of fun at the range without having to worry about the recoil so much. Let's go ahead and get them up close so that way you can see what that recoil impulse looks like up close. So we're gonna go one-handed. Very mild, just like most 22s. Anyone who's been shooting before knows that it's not going to be aggressive at all. But this video is more for those people who are new to pistols, new to shooting. So let's go ahead and pop off these last couple rounds, and then I want to compare it to a different gun that is also a high capacity 22. I missed like over half of those shots.
You suck! You suck!
All right, so the Kel-Tec P17 is a high capacity 22 long rifle pistol. Very fun to take to the range and very budget friendly. But there are other options out there that are still in that budget category. I will say the Kel-Tec tends to be a little bit cheaper than these guys, but I do have a version of a high capacity 22 that I can compare to this guy. I will say it's slightly unfair because this is the competition version of this pistol, but it's just something that I have that I can compare to give you guys an idea. Today, I'm going to compare it to the TX22 Competition series. Now, I say that they are very comparable because the standard TX22 is around that $250 price range. So it's about 50 bucks more than the Kel-Tec. This guy is a lot more because this is their competition series. So, like I said, not the most fairest of comparisons, but it is what I have that I can compare it to. So we're gonna go ahead and put some rounds on target. Now, to give you an idea, they are both 16 round magazines. This guy runs around a 5-inch barrel. This is a 3.8-inch barrel. And this one is a striker fire, while this one is a hammer fired trigger. So let's go ahead and show you those trigger differences so you guys can feel or see what the difference is. So, of course, making sure it is unloaded. This is the Kel-Tec. Very round trigger. There's no wall. There's no forced brake. It's just a roll through brake. And then let's see that reset. Very audible, not very tactile. You're right back on that rolling wall. And then the brake. Nothing crazy. Let's go ahead and check out the Taurus TX22. Of course, showing that it's empty. Now, like I said, this is a striker fire, so it's a little spongy to get to a wall. Then a clean brake. Very audible and tactile reset. You are right back on that wall. And then the brake. I do like the TX22's trigger just a little bit better, and I do like striker fire pistols. I like hammer fire too, but I typically like external hammer fire, not internal. But that's my personal opinions. But let's go ahead and shoot them back to back. That's what you guys came here for, and see how they feel. We're going to start with the Kel-Tec. Now, these are both running the Winchester 555 bullet, so the worst bullet that I have today. Uh-oh. And that is why that is the worst bullet I have. First round, dud. There we go. Not a bad little gun. I do really like it. Let's go ahead and compare that to the TX22. What I do like about the TX22 is the way it's designed. It does feel like a real gun. It doesn't feel like a toy like the Kel-Tec, because it's not, even though it's polymer, it's got a textured grip that actually feels like your standard striker fire guns. It's actually ergonomically designed, so that way you get a very comfortable grip. But let's go ahead and see what they look like side by side. We have the TX22. Now we have the Kel-Tec P17. Because the Kel-Tec is a little lighter, there is a little bit more recoil impulse, but like I said, this is the competition series of the TX22, which has a lot more weight to it than the standard TX22. Like I said, not the most fair competition or comparison, but it's what I had, so it is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and just dump off these last bit of rounds, and then we're gonna go ahead and take it up top and give you my last first thoughts opinion of it. I suck at shooting. Woo! I suck at shooting. But those are my last rounds of these guys. Let's go up top and give my last first thoughts opinion of the P17. All right, guys. So what's my final first thoughts of the Kel-Tec P17? I think, honestly, it's a very cool budget-friendly option. If you only have $200 to spend, maybe 200 and some change, the P17 is a great option for you. It's been reliable so far for me and my buddy who I borrowed this from. He's shot everything through it and had no hiccups on this guy. The only hiccup I've had today was an ammunition-related problem. Winchester White Box. It is what it is. But this is a great little option for you. And now they have the optics ready models, which are a little bit pricier, but they have a different top on them. That's a Kel-Tec across the top there. That's cut out there that says Kel-Tec. And that's how you know the difference between the optics ready one and this one. Because it does look like it's optics ready, but this one is not. You would have to change out the slide top to make it optics ready. But it is a really neat option for that budget-friendly pistol. It is a very neat 22 long rifle, definitely something to get for someone who is recoil sensitive, or maybe it's their first time going out to the range or something. This is a very easy pistol to get someone into shooting. Or it's just a fun gun to throw in a bag when you're going out hiking or something to dispatch a snake or something like that. That would be a good option for you. And it's cheap, so if it gets dinged up and beat up in your bag, you're not upset about it. But this is a cool little pistol. Definitely a neat option. Definitely something you guys should check out if you ever get a chance. The Kel-Tec P17 is a awesome little pistol. Definitely something to check out. Guys, if you like that video, go ahead and hit like, comment in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And guys, if you haven't hit the bell icon, Charlie, I'm talking to you. Hit that bell icon right now. I'm telling you right now, hit it. A lot of people are saying they're not seeing my videos on a regular basis. So I really want you guys to hit that bell icon so you can see my videos, because I put out at least 1 to 2 videos a week. Sometimes I put out 3 or 4. It really depends on how busy that week is with new guns that come out. But I try to put out as many videos for you guys a week as I can. So if you're not seeing at least 1 video a week, you haven't hit that bell icon. So go ahead and hit it. Guys, comment in the comment section if you would get a P17 and if you would trust it with your life if you needed a pistol and you're recoil sensitive. Let me know in the comment section. I know a lot of people say 22 is the most deadly round, and it might be, but is it enough to stop someone? That's the key question. But it is a neat little pistol, definitely something you should check out. If you ever get a chance, check out the Kel-Tec P17.
I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a